Bam, more life. I was in the wrong studio.
I was wondering where you were.
Part of me was like, I went in the studio. I'm like, oh, this motherfucker doesn't respect me. He just shows up whenever he wants.
No, man, I got here. I've been here for 8 minutes.
Respect.
Respect, baby.
Oh, you went skiing yesterday.
No, I didn't go skiing.
Did you stay too long in the tanning bed?
No, man, that's just my lighting just I need you to come out here and consult on my lighting. Just sucks.
Jay Vera, baby. Jay Vera. Or Patrick Rios.
That's who I should have him. Yeah, Vera got Castro set up. Dave looks like a professional now with his little videos.
He looks like a cartel member being filmed by National Geographic.
I got to send you a text I sent him the other day. I
Dude,
can't talk about it right now.
Who has a gun safe in the back of
Are we? Yeah, we are live. Okay. Yeah, it's big now.
Is that normally where you do your podcast from?
Yeah, this is like in my little basement office setup.
Oh, it really does look like you spent a lot of time in the sun yesterday or something. Like I pictured you went skiing or something.
Well, I might have been in the sun for like 10 minutes. I'm pretty sensitive to it.
Fair.
Yeah. I mean, this thing has like different shades and stuff, so I could like play.
By the way, you're killing. You're so good, James. Before I start making fun of you for the next 90 minutes, you're so good.
Yeah, tell me more.
You
I appreciate that.
You have follow-up questions. You're inquisitive. You can take different views. You keep the ball running. You allow just enough downtime to let people breathe. I mean, it's good. Like, I'm excited to watch you. I'm like, is it just because I really like James, or no, you're good, dude. You're good. I get really excited like when I see you on. Yeah.
I stress about it. Not stress about it. I work hard on it, and because I don't feel like I'm that good at it. And there's a lot of people in our space now doing it. Like, it's a prevalent thing. You can't just pop up your first show. So I appreciate that a lot. I'm gonna keep hammering at it. We got a good team. I get a lot of feedback. So you've given me some really nice feedback, which I appreciate.
I wonder what it is. There's some people you're kind of just like excited, like when they come on, you're like, oh, what are they going to say? I think you have a little bit of that, like, hey, I'm not sure what James is going to say, but also like you have so much experience too, so you can just chime in. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Thanks.
Anything?
Yeah, it's not easy.
No,
what you guys do.
It's definitely not the talking to people. If you did not want to do it, it's definitely not the thing to do. But I mean, clearly you want to do it, right? That's the easy part. You know what I mean by want to do it? Like you're interested in talking with people.
We were at like went to a friend of ours. Their daughter had her 1-year-old birthday. You know, so it's her just the photos and the adults. And I met her parents, not the 1-year-old's parents, the parents of the 1-year-old's parents. And I just talked to them for I'd never met them before. I talked to them almost the entire time. And like Cassandra was like, we were getting ready to leave. And, you know, I do the 40-minute goodbye. Like I do not do an Irish goodbye. So, and I have a hard time with it. I could talk to people all day. I
hate goodbyes.
It's the worst.
All my students know who this guy is. They think he's just an AI guy that I showed during pictures doing squats. Oh,
I love that. I like that. I hope, the AI guy. That's cool. We should remake all those with it. Be like, hey, just copy this guy, and we should ask AI. Be like, make the improvements to him that you would expect him to have. You know what I mean? Like, make him look a little nicer, a little better.
It really does in hindsight. I mean, this was pre-AI, but in hindsight, they do look like AI. That's how good you are.
Well, some of those, and I remember when I think it was, I don't know whose idea it was. I'm sure Greg had a big push in this when they shot him on that camera, the Phantom camera or something.
Yep.
And renting it was like really expensive, but it had the ability to shoot like some astronomical frames per second.
I bet you Heber and Mars get credit for that.
Yeah, I think they shot Dalton. I think Michael Dalton filmed the second round when we did on that camera.
What year was that? Do you remember? Was it pre-20? We did one pre-2020.
Yeah, we did one in 2014. That was the original batch with me and Julie. And then when we reshot a bunch of them, and that was with like Camille and God, who was the lifter? I can't remember his name. And Pamela Gagnon. I think we shot that right before COVID, 2019. It was like right before everything went crazy. Yeah.
God, the landscape of searching has changed so much. When I used to search videos, it always gave me YouTube. Now it's like it fills with like TikTok and Instagram and Facebook. It's like, hey, I only care about what's on YouTube.
I have been seeing that, like the YouTube short. Look at that guy.
It looked like you're about to slip and fall.
I don't look like I spent enough time in the sun there. um, man.
There's this Asian guy, he does investment videos, and he's called That Asian Guy, and I watched like 3 of them, and he was, I don't know if you watching Silver or anything like that, but Silver's doing some weird shit. So all of a sudden I got into his videos, and it took me 3 or 4 videos before I realized he was AI. And then I stopped watching him. Once I realized he was AI, I didn't want to watch it.
Man, oh no, Costas Antonopoulos. No, it wasn't Chad Vaughn. It was Mike Cerberus was the fellow's name who came in and did a bunch of videos. But we've worked with Chad a bunch in the past. That's who it was, Mike Cerberus. So
I don't like AI.
the AI video
AI to
thing
me
is
is like reading fiction. Not that there's anything wrong with reading fiction. All the fiction books I've read I like, but I don't know. I don't like AI.
It's really interesting, I think. And there was one clip I saw the other day, and it was like they seem to do this a lot to Joe Rogan, like pull this video up, and it starts with him saying that, and then it's his voiceover and they're showing some video. And I was talking to my wife about it. I'm like, this is all fake. Like, because if you really pay attention to how the voiceover goes, I'm like, that's not the way he speaks, and just some of like the vocab he uses and the tempo and the cadence. It's like it's damn close and it's convincing, which is scary. But
you know those gorilla AI videos that were popular? Like I'm not entertained by those for some reason.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
the Yeti
they have him doing everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like taking shits or just whatever he does. You know,
I like the ones where the pets show up to the house and ring the doorbell and then like blow up the house or like shoot the person who comes out. I don't know if you've seen those. They're so good. It's good entertainment value, but it's like you know who's do you remember Bill Anthes? He's doing Ruck Race League.
Yes. And Dave's into that.
The Ruck Race really League, into that. They're doing cool stuff. And I like Bill's take on a lot of things. He said something a long time ago, and it was like, he said it in a nicer way. It was like more poetic, but it was like junk food for your brain. Like some of those videos, like I get sucked into them and I'm watching them, like, but this is like eating a Dorito. Like the first one is like so tasty and crunchy and all the right balance of like salty and umami. Then you've had like 500 of them and you just feel like shit afterwards. That's what I feel like the kind of AI is for your brain. Like the first one is like so funny and cool, but you just can't, they're addicting, but not rewarding ultimately.
There's this thing I've been really emphasizing with my kids for the last couple of years, that if you're using your phone and you're not making money, then your phone's using you. And I got to find a different way to say it, because I don't want everything to seem so transactional, because it doesn't necessarily have to be making money. But if you're not, maybe I should say something different, making yourself better.
Yep. Is it helping you create or consume? Somebody phrased it to me like that. Like you do need to consume sometimes in your life and prioritize that. But I find myself just on the phone. Like I'm just consuming things and I'm creating nothing from it. Like
that's not good.
Yeah. It happens. It's easy to.
Have you ever unfollowed everyone and then started fresh? Or have you ever gone into your Explorer and just like canceled all the shit that you know is a distraction for you?
I do that. I've been trying really hard lately to cut down Instagram time. But you know what's funny? I talked about this with what did I talk about this with? The Glint on things.
Yeah. Great ladies. That's a great
hate
show.
This.
You were great on that show.
They're really fun to talk to.
Yep.
You'll hate this, but I got really addicted to Reddit.
Oh, yeah, I hate that.
You do. Yeah. And not even just like reading. There's this one thread on Reddit. It's like bad roommate or like horrible roommate stories. Like I've got it. And there's another one I found. It's called like Guess Who I Am. And someone posts a picture of their room and you have to like guess things about them. I got so addicted to reading those. And it's just pure garbage. But I was like, oh man. And then you read the comments and the original poster's like, this is who I am and how old I am. And then I finish it. I'm like, I wonder if everyone here is just lying. And I'm so stupid. Yeah, that's Pool Boy said Reddit is for pedophiles. Oh man.
I've ended up more on my boy got a fish tank, and I've been on Reddit probably 10 times in the last 2 weeks. And that's probably like reached my lifetime on Reddit. And dude, and it sucks because of how good it is. Like if I have a question about a fish, how did you acclimate this fish?
Yeah.
What do you do if the fish shows up like dead? Like I'm like, oh man, Sevi, stop.
Yeah, that's you know what it's good too for. What I was really surprised is the CrossFit Reddit isn't well, parts of it are, but the one part of the CrossFit Reddit that is really good is someone will post a video of doing a movement
Mm-hmm.
and it'll be like, help me with my clean technique or my bar muscle up. And the people in the comments on those are
Yeah.
pretty awesome, which I think
Yeah.
is really a testament to like what like CrossFit and training and coaching. Like there's definitely garbage in the CrossFit thread, but like those specific posts, surprisingly, I thought I'd go in there and people would be like, you suck. You should never lift. You don't, high rep movements are for idiots. People were like really supportive and there were like lots of really good tips and coaching insights. So I was actually really surprised, pleasantly surprised at that.
I
But
know over the years, when someone will make a thread in there that says Sevon's a scumbag or whatever, when I end up in there to look at it, I do see that 99 out of 100 are like, hey, this is my first CrossFit gym, or which gym should I go to? I just
yeah,
moved to Chicago, and it really, yeah.
which is, I think that's the upside of the internet, I think. But
Yeah. Did it does usually when Reddit pops up on my radar, it's because some story I hear about people frustrated that they're getting censored on there.
yeah,
So there is some sort of moderation.
the mod culture on Reddit, depending on who you are and how you feel about that, can be pretty aggressive. Yeah. And
Like if it,
suppressive.
do you comment on there?
No.
And it's not a place where people really use their real name either, right?
No. Yeah.
Hey, you
Yeah,
know
like
what's kind of
I have like a randomly, I don't even have like a handle that I created. It was randomly generated. I've commented once. I think it was a movement, give me some tips for my clean video or something. Or maybe somebody asked about cap programming a long time ago. I think maybe I've commented on there once or twice, but
my kids have a YouTube channel. It's funny. I just spoke with my wife about this morning for about 10 minutes. And it was just cruising along, just like 1 or 200 views. And then it started getting more views and more comments in the last month. And I noticed I'm not liking it. Like, I don't like, there's people in there with like names I don't recognize. And they're like, you're pretty.
I
Or
was just gonna,
where do you live? And I'm like, what? Yo,
Jesus.
motherfucker. Like what?
I was just gonna ask you that. I was like, how do you navigate? Because I feel like that's a part of creation now, or I don't know. It's it's ubiquitous part of our life, YouTube, that kind of media. And it's like, you don't want to totally, squelch their interest or their passion for like that kind of content creation. But I was like, how do you navigate the weirdos that just exist in a platform where there's so many people?
Um, early on when I first started doing Instagram videos with the kids, my kids are hardly ever dressed. They don't wear shoes and they just put on shorts. And so all the videos they were in, they had their shirts off.
Mm,
And and you just think it's no big deal. It's just 3 boys. But it probably shouldn't matter if it's 3 girls if they're 2 or 3 years old, right? It's like it
yeah.
should just be. But it's not like that. I mean, there's people you just can't even imagine. Like there's a whole cohort of people you can't even you don't want to imagine.
No.
Yeah. There's a whole so I don't know how I'm gonna navigate it, but I told Avi, I'm like, hey, don't respond to a single comment ever. No matter what they say, nice, them. He's got an iPad so he can text a couple of friends and his grandparents and his family members. And I've told him, hey, never, the 2 things I've told him, never send a video or picture to anyone.
Yeah.
It's just a ground rule. And remember, everything you can see, the whole world can see. Or everything you type, the whole world can see. He's like, but I'm only sending it to my grandmother. I'm like, doesn't matter. Everyone can see it.
Yeah,
Just know everyone's watching you. Because like we're going there,
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, you just have to assume everyone's seeing you. Your camera's always on your phone.
If they really want to
your
get it,
morning dew. Someone at the NSA is watching you take a shit in the morning.
Yeah, my mom said to me once, she's like, I don't want them to have my information. And I was like, hey, they have, it's already all out there. Luckily, just most people don't care about most of us.
Yeah.
It's probably all out there.
And the algorithm is so wise. When you think of all the data points they have, so like they know James Hobart lives in this house on this street, and the people are buying shovels at this time of the year and tape at this time of the year, and they know that they buy their gas. I mean, they know everything about you. They know how old you are. The algorithm is just so sharp. It's so sharp.
Yeah, I think that kind of hit me. I was working when I owned CrossFit Boston. We had a bunch of members at our gym that worked at who made the Roomba? Ninja? Like, did Ninja? They had like a blender. It was
The
one of those
Roomba, the
companies.
vacuum cleaner? The vacuum
Yeah,
cleaner? Yeah.
it was one of those companies that made those little smart vacuums. And basically, how they made a lot of their money is the vacuums would like map the floor plan of the house. And
Yeah.
it's like they're selling it to advertisers. And I was like, God, that's so clever. But at the same time, I was like, that's so scary. But that is just sort of the world we live in.
Yeah. And who would think that?
I was like, when I heard it, I was like, oh, that makes perfect sense. But then getting to that, making that logical leap to be like, oh yeah, this thing's tracking your house. Does it have a camera on it? Like,
It does. The
do?
Roomba, it does have a camera on it. The Roomba people got in trouble for, at one point, there's an article, I don't know if it's Roomba specifically, but those vacuums got in trouble for, photos got out from one of the vacuums. Hey, and they think of crazy shit, right? That they know stuff like, hey, if your hallway is longer than 6 feet, that you're going to want to put pictures in it. And all of a sudden there's picture frames being offered up on your Amazon. I mean, it is, I think that, do you remember the movie Minority Report? They would know if you're going to kill someone before you killed someone.
Oh yeah. Tom Cruise.
Yeah. I mean, that amount of information has got to be out there, because as humans, we're not really all that different. It's got to be. I heard Amazon in 3 clicks knows your sexual preference, like whether you're gay or straight. 3 clicks.
Yeah, I've never read like a study about that, but I've read some article, like, random article about like Facebook and Amazon being able to predict, like sexual preference pretty quickly and accurately. That's really funny.
Hey, they should sell those profiles back to us. Do you know what I mean?
Right? Oh, like you could buy it so they can't
have
have
on, you're gay. And I'm like, okay, fine.
you just accept it.
Just tell
yeah, I don't know about that. That's interesting with the boys though.
Yeah.
I think that's not responding to comments, I think, is a good rule.
Yeah, I'm gonna just And the good thing is he doesn't seem they just like the editing part. They're not so much into the metrics, or he's not really into the comments, or he's not, you know what I mean? He's not like he's not worried about the engagement.
Yeah.
He would like the channel to become monetized so he could buy stuff.
Yeah.
But other than that, he doesn't.
Are you going to sponsor him?
No, he's going to sponsor me.
Yeah.
Like, his camera broke the other day, and his camera's like a $300 DJI cam, and I bought it. I bought him another one, and I'm like, oh, I can't. I'm thinking in my head, oh, I can't wait till it's monetized, so I don't have to pay for that shit.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It'd be cool for him to learn about all those little business things too, about like, how do you relate that back to the business and those costs?
Hey, you pretty pumped about the open registration?
Yeah, it's really nice to see. After the games last year, everyone gave Albany a hard time, and I'm from the Northeast, so I don't take that too personally. I know Albany as a city, it's not the most glamorous place, but it was really good to us, and I think having sort of a smaller, more focused games was exactly what we needed. And I'm excited because sometimes you have something good happen, but you lose that momentum post. And I think the cadence of like the open message and the pace of the signups is really nice.
The signups are killing.
Yeah, they're doing really well. I haven't checked today. They were at like 60, closing on, I think 60, 70K last week when I finished the week out, which was far ahead of 2025, which was really nice.
It's been just clawing at double last year's rate. That's amazing. That makes me so happy.
It's huge. And it's also nice to see like the general positive reception of it. Because I think sometimes it could have also went away like, hey, we're doing better. And people would be like, no one gives a shit. I think it's like we're doing better, and everyone's really excited about it too. So the messaging has been really fun. So I'm excited. Yeah, I'm really excited.
Are you signed up yet?
Yeah.
I need to sign up still.
Yeah.
By the way,
I signed up early, but they gave us an opportunity to help them test out like the reg flow. So I was signed up really early.
I didn't do this workout. I had already worked out when you sent it to me, but I am going to do it today. It's you sent me a workout, AMRAP, 15 minutes, 3 wall walks, 9 deadlift, 15 box jump overs. You used 185 on the dead. I'll even try that. That's going to be probably a little slow for me. I'll probably move slow, but I think I can. My box jump overs will be outside, and the rest of the movements will be inside. And so I'll get like probably a 10-second break every time I walk from the probably 7 to 10-second break every time I walk from the deadlifts to the box jump overs, because I'll do it on the skateboard ramp. I got to walk over there. But I think I can just move on that. I think that'll be good for me. I don't think I do my wall walks legally, but I'll still get the stimulus. Like there's some like cadence you have to put your feet on the walls before your hands, or your hand or something. I don't know what it is. You probably know what it is. But I think wall walks are nice for me. Oh, 9 deadlifts at 185. Maybe I should do 155.
Yeah, I did all the box jumps got slow for me. That's definitely like a skill I need to keep. We've talked about this a lot. You know, it's funny. I also
Wait, the box jump overs were slow for you?
well, they just like got me really out of breath.
Oh yeah,
They
yeah,
weren't like
yeah.
slow, but that's where I definitely hurt the most in that workout.
And you did all the deadlifts unbroken every time?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, I don't think
I did do a mixed script though, which sometimes makes me feel like a little turd. Like I feel like if you're under body weight, even if it might like give you a lesser score in a workout, unless you're like doing the open or competing, you should test double overhand. Like I feel like almost always.
What do you weigh?
I weigh about 188, 190.
Really? God. That's
Just got like
crazy.
I'm skinny. I just feel like I have like dinosaur bones.
Yeah, you don't look like you weigh that. You look like you're probably like 178.
Yeah, I feel like I'm 178, but yeah, and I've been like the same weight for a billion years.
Okay, I'm gonna say it's a body weight deadlift. I'm gonna do like
Gordon.
I'm gonna do 160.
There's something else I want to say. People are really hard on you in the comments about whether or not you're going to do the open.
Oh, well, my open, like, I mean, I don't know if I'm gonna sign up and I'm gonna try to do it. But for me, it won't be like it gives me so much anxiety, to be honest with you.
That's good.
Like shitloads of anxiety, like just doing it, nothing else, but just like finding the time and the place to do it. You know what I mean? Like already I'm like, fuck, if there's wall balls, I'm kind of fucked, because that means I have to go. I'm either going to have to substitute thrusters, which I get ass pounded for. I don't mind so much an ass pounding, or I'm going to have to change my schedule, get out of my, because I'm in such a tight loop. I'm in such a creature of habit.
Why couldn't we set up a wall ball target at your house? I feel like outside in that little, you still live where I've been to your house. You haven't moved since last I was there a couple of years ago.
I guess I have a pegboard outside. I guess I could do it against the pegboard. I have a pegboard outside.
Yeah, just like climb up, have the boys climb up, put a piece of tape on there, and be like, just hit that.
Yeah, and don't tell anyone this, but my open is like I don't do the tape. Like if I just hit the wall with the wall ball, I bro rep the fuck out of myself.
You know, I have some mixed feelings about that. But as long as you're not walking around being like, here's my score I did at RX, like I don't know.
No, I will do that too. But I'll also make a video. But I'll make a video too. So
Yeah.
people can, yeah.
I
make
feel like
a
if
video,
you put
but I will
yourself
bro
out there
rep
for
the fuck out of
accountability, it's
myself.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's fine. But yeah, you should set up. You need to be able to do wall ball shots at your house for sure.
What do you think about what do you think about this what do you think? I was on Andrew Hiller's Instagram this morning. It's not aggressive at all, but let me see. Oh, I thought this was, wait, let me see. Oh, maybe it's not on his. Oh, this right here. What do you think about this?
Hit me.
So this is the post. It says Hyrox is a year-long turkey trot for influencers like Stan Brownie. I'm not sure who that is, but he looks like that famous soccer player, Rolando.
Yeah, he's got like a great look going on. Fast.
Creating videos with 2.5 million, teaching the world improper squat mechanics. And I didn't even listen to it with audio, so maybe I'll put audio now. But he put this compilation together. Here we go.
Let's listen to it.
Toughest race of my life so far. Guys, welcome to Hyrox.
What a good song.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Welcome to Hyrox.
I'm really impressed with Andy's just millennial pop culture knowledge.
He's really good with the songs and like the
Andy, you mean Andrew?
yeah.
Yeah, I like how you call him Andy. That's nice. That's a nice touch.
You know,
I'm torn. I'm torn every time. I'm so torn because I'm like, I like I love like so much about Hyrox. I love that it's someone's taking a CrossFit workout and giving like the community somewhere to go express their shit. But dude, 11, I mean, he probably put that together in 2 minutes. 11 people not in a row, like just not squatting to depth. And it's like, they're really missing out on that. I mean, you were around during the early days. One of the primary points of CrossFit is so that you don't get taken to the nursing home.
yeah.
And, getting up and off the toilet and being able to wipe your own ass. And it just seems, I don't know. It just seems like, hey man, you guys got to figure that out.
Yeah, I'm curious. So Hyrox has been around for a while, right? Like it's really had this like explosive growth in the last, let's call it 3 to 5 years, but it's been around for I believe since 2017, 2016. I could be wrong on that. So somebody fact check me. But what I'm not torn about it. I think it's okay to call out because people called us out all the time when we first started for random shit. And now recently and I don't know if this was AI or not, but Mike Itzler was on his podcast saying, is that his name? Big Jack bodybuilder doctor guy. Basically the CrossFit is like the Uber athlete, just in terms of what GPP can do for them.
Yep.
And we've come a long way there. So what does Hyrox look like in 3 years? Like if these people, I'm going to assume everybody in that video was not squatting or doing a wall ball shot before they got into Hyrox. So now they're doing shitty air squats and wall balls. So that's a step in the right direction. Okay. Now, if in 2 years, Hyrox still, majority of Hyrox still looks like that, then it might do some head scratch and be like, hopefully that moves in a different direction.
It's 2026, dude. And here's the thing too. I know our bias since the beginning, it's been range of motion. So it's like, hey, what's your burpee look like? Well, it doesn't matter so much as long as you have range of motion. Chest has to touch the ground, feet have to come up off, especially in competition, right? Range of motion,
Look what Matt Burns just wrote. He just says that their rulebook states is hip crease below I didn't know that. I should probably read their rulebook. Do it correctly. There you go. Yeah, I'm thinking of Jesse's. I'm smashing a lot of people. Dr. Mike Israel. Sorry. Yeah. Well, then they got to do it correctly. Yeah, that sucks.
Isn't it interesting? So for them, we put a premium on range of motion, and they kind of put a premium on participation.
Oh, for sure they do.
Yeah.
Yeah. I also think
but we're not saying they should be outlawed.
No, I don't think they should be outlawed. But I do think, and I'm also not like, I don't feel the need to like, I don't want to say, I'm pretty like hands off with that kind of stuff. Not that I don't think it should be better or different, but it's like, if that's the journey you want to go on. But I do think for the people who are in that sphere, like you're not doing each other a favor by letting someone skate by. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yes,
it's the kind of thing like if we jump on this podcast and we're chatting and like I got like a big booger hanging out and you just kind of don't say anything because you want to be polite or you don't want to like make me uncomfortable. Like that really sucks, man. Like the good dude thing is be like, hey, call me out and be like, James, you got a big nasty booger. And then I just get rid of it and we move on. Yeah. Hey, you're not getting below parallel and you're going to fuck yourself up for down the road and being a better mover and the strength you could build and the range of motion that you could have and maintain throughout your life. So yeah,
I have two family members that when I tell them, I'll be like, hey, you're not squatting to parallel. And they always say, yes, I am, or I can't go lower. And then I don't say anything again. And within 3 reps, they're below parallel and they're squatting to depth.
Yeah.
You just have to say it. And then, they get there.
It's funny because I think some of it even creeps into CrossFit. And I've been, and I'm CrossFit old. So I feel like I can say this now and get away with it. But the burpee, I was actually chirping at and Hiller about this the other day. a couple weeks ago. And so the burpee, standard this thing, everyone's doing this or this,
Yeah.
which I get. And I kind of had a debate a long time ago at a level 1 with a participant about this. And because I told the crew, I was like, hey, we need to do a burpee and jump straight up, open our hips, and try and lock our arms out as we clap, which is really annoying and hard to do if anyone's done burpees like that. But it's how we demo them as the CrossFit burpee. And this young lady said to me, she was probably the fittest person there. She goes, why would I do that when I could be faster clapping behind my head? And, in my head, the response was like, I get what you're saying. And I get that sometimes we use that standard. But at the same time, if it was all about only speed, I just wouldn't squat below parallel because it's faster not to squat below parallel. So I do think we get a lot of confusion in terms of like.
That's the Dutch Lowy burpee. Remember?
Yeah.
And I still do those. It's so funny because these young guys I hang around, they'll be like, oh my God, you so have the 2008 burpee.
That's the 2008 burpee.
That is the burpee I do. You know what I mean? I do the what was the workout was like 275.
It was like 5 rounds of 5 and 10 maybe?
Yeah, 5 and 10. And you didn't jump over the bar, but you just did your burpees. And all that mattered was chest to the ground, feet off the ground.
Yeah.
Yeah, I still do them like that. So you're saying you prefer this?
I do think that is like, if you're going to do a burpee not to a target, you got to get your hands overhead and try and lock your elbows out and clap. It's annoying as hell. And like, I don't do them perfectly every time. If you do those for like a big workout, your arm, that makes the burpees so much worse. But I think my bigger point is like, I think we have to stay really sharp on the conflation of a sports standard for like a judging reason.
Yeah.
Or a practicality reason versus like, maintaining orthopedic safety, the efficiency of the mechanics, getting movement from the hip and stuff, or power from the hip to the extremities. We have to be really smart on not conflating game standards with like range of motion movement standards. So,
you mean like telling them, oh, that rep doesn't count is probably not a good coaching cue?
It's a great place to start, but yeah, you got to hit him with something, a little something else. Pat Sherwood used to run around as a joke. We'd work out at trainer workouts at the lunches seminars, and he would just yell at people, technique is my favorite cue. Just yell at them, technique.
I told Avi was doing a workout the other day and he was doing deadlifts in it. And I go, and he finished his final round and I go, those were dog shit. And he started crying. And I was like, all right.
Great cue, coach.
I was like, God.
Did he do some better ones after you told him that?
In the beginning, I was like, hey, you're lowering the bar. He bends his knee first, so the bar hits the top of his knee. And I'm like, hey, dude, you got to wait till it passes your knee before you bend your knee. And he fixed it, but then he got to the last round of 10. It was like every round he had to add a deadlift. It was like 1 deadlift, 1 burpee, 2 deadlifts, 2 burpees, all the way up to 10. And on the final round, the 10, of course, right? He's just trying to finish them, so he's moving fast and he's hitting his knee. And I said that, and then afterward, and then we went back and when we were watching the video, he's like, "Man, you are a dick."
That's good.
And I was like, "Yeah, it's good feedback." All right, yeah.
That's why you got to do those wall balls. You need every once in a while you need to hold yourself to a standard that's not your own. I think it's I don't know how much is too much or too little, but
I think jumping to the dangling ring was always good.
That's a hard one because you hit it too hard and it moves around. That's a good one.
It teaches you to be smart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also just think, one of the things I liked about, I feel like, man, I said this to a couple of people. Sometimes just, I get sad when Greg doesn't talk about like CrossFit movement the way he used to. Because, the founder has that capability and he just likes to be so. When he said a couple of weeks ago on your show, you guys were talking about Jackie. And then everyone, I think in the comments or afterwards was like losing their mind because I don't think he either recalled Jackie or talked about a different version. So everybody got all puckered about that. But he said the phrase, he was talking about he was proud of some of his workouts and the goal was choreographed exertion. I commented.
Yeah,
I
know. I saw that. Me and you were both like, holy shit.
And it's been in my head for the last couple of weeks. But it also reminds me like, what should you do in a CrossFit workout? It's like, you should make your movement look pretty. Like there's so much value in trying to do that. And it's like, does it knock 30 seconds off your score? Maybe. I don't know. Is it still an intense workout? Yes, absolutely. If I do a 3-minute Fran or a really pretty 3:30 Fran, they're still pretty damn intense. But man, it just made me think about that. Like the burpee with the arms locked out and the body's just straight. It's a beautiful movement. Whereas like you're leaned over in your hips and you're clapping behind you. It just looks like garbage.
And I feel
like not saying it can't be useful. It's just
I mean,
ugly.
you could argue that by moving better, you actually are getting a better workout because you're having more adaptation through that full range of motion. And even though it might not be as quote unquote intense because the time might take a little bit longer, really you're getting more out of that workout.
Yeah, there's definitely something to that. Yeah, I agree with that. And every once in a while, yeah, okay, the knees wobble in or your range of motion is a little shitty and you go a little faster. Like there's value to that too. But I do think if someone was saying to me like, wow, what's the risk of the sport of CrossFit and the methodology? I'd say the one place where I've seen some encroachment, and for me, this is the only place, it's just like that we only care about the score. I just only care about like the score matters a lot. But man, it's just nice when people move pretty. It's just nice.
It was interesting. A lot of people also came to Greg's defense, and I remember afterwards. I don't remember exactly what Sousa said, but Sousa said something like, "Hey, I've been programming this same workout every day on Christmas or some day." He said for 7 years, and I still don't remember it every year. I have to look it up. Something like that. And it's like Jesus. He wrote Jackie 20 years ago.
And think about that. Like you've done some really cool workout writing, and you've done some really great things when you can't remember Jackie. Like think about how how many good songs have you written when you can't remember one of your best ones?
Yeah. And he hasn't forgotten about, and his knowledge on insulin has grown exponentially, not diminished. I'll take the trade. Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, I just thought that was really nice. Hey, Rios.
There's that popular clip with Lil Wayne where somebody like says a line back and he's like, oh, and he's like pumped. And then he was like, yeah, that's yours. And he's like, that's mine. Wow. Because he had been involved with like in the way that he created the music and everything else that he couldn't remember like a lot of the lines of his songs. And they would ask him all the time too, like, well, how do you prep for that? And he's like, I'll have to go listen to the song and like look at the lyrics. And he's like, and then the second I like hear it, I'm like, okay, cool. Now I remember it. I recall it. Right. And I think that's what happened with Greg there too. He kind of like was like the workout. Then as soon as someone started to say, he's like, oh yeah, great workout. Like remembered exactly what it was.
But I like.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, what is this?
This is the Lil Wayne thing where he forgets.
Oh, play it.
I don't know where the audio. Oh, there.
Wheezy.
Over 1 million songs. That's not true because I don't write. I just go in there. What I was feeling that day is how it goes. How do you remember the song when you perform? Your guys are so generous. They typed up my lyrics for me. I'm back there studying them right now. I'm moving to the next song, which means I forgot whatever the last song was about. Better wear latex, because you don't want that latex that I think I'm latex. I don't know when I said it or why I said it. Is it true you've written probably over 1 million songs?
That's awesome.
That's great.
Yeah, that's what that reminded me of when he couldn't remember it at first.
I don't look at Sousa, the man of knowledge, dipping into
cross-pollinating.
Yeah, obscure.
That's right. Hey, I'm high up on the pyramid of taxology of
taxonomy.
Taxonomy, yeah. Thank you. Of education.
I like taxology though.
yeah.
Hobart, tell me your story. The first time you heard about CrossFit. What year it was? What you were doing?
It was 2000, maybe before 2007 a little bit. I was a really crappy soccer and lacrosse player in high school, and through some buddies.
You look like a lacrosse player.
Yeah,
I could see that.
Not a compliment.
No, I didn't think it was, and that's why
not
I
an
liked
insult, but not a compliment.
I would prefer it being an insult. So I was working out with some buddies who played football. They were kind of going to the gym. That's when I first got into the gym. And Paul Lepreveau ran like this little studio near the town where we were going to high school. And he was actually starting to it was like early dabble into functional training. Like we would do bodybuilding and typical weight room, but then he would put like little circuits together where we would do full body movements. And then I started training with another guy. His name was Mike Bazillion. And he was a personal trainer because I wanted to get better. Mike Bazillion.
Great.
He was also a rapper.
Yep.
Wow. That is an incredible name. Okay.
Incredible. Mike B. And started training with him. And then he was like always into if anybody remembers in the comments, Paul Chek had this thing called these early functional guys. And a lot of the early functional guys at that time were like just doing real weirdo shit. There was this thing called a tornado ball, and it was essentially like a bouncy medicine ball in the end of like a short 1 foot rope. And you just like swing it and slam it on stuff. And he was all about like building your core.
The Bulgarian
Paul-
bag.
Yeah, the Bulgarian bag. Yeah, the
Yeah.
clubs, kettlebells. So that was like, if anybody remembers Pavel Tsutsilin's Power to the People or the Naked Warrior. So long story short, through Mike, we stumbled on a website called Jim Jones, GYM Jones, Mark Twight.
Yep.
Mark Twight early on. Yeah, dude, that's it. And you'd like slam it to the wall left and right.
That thing's crazy.
Yeah, and it's so funny. Like people look at
I just come out of the
CrossFitters
shower
doing an air
doing
squat.
that. I come out of the
bet you
shower
do.
doing that shit right
It's called
there.
the helicopter.
And Haley can't handle herself. She just attacks me.
Wow.
Oh man, knocking all the shampoo off the wall.
Yeah. I did wash my hair today, by the way, because you were coming on.
Good.
Okay,
Wow.
so you were hanging out with people who were exploratory.
Yeah, and he stumbled on Mark Twight's website, Jim Jones, because that was the time, like right around the time when the 300 came out, and everyone wanted to look like the guys in 300, but we didn't really know about things like lighting and post-production and peptides. But they were all working out with Mark Twight at Jim Jones. And this site used to be so gangster, but he still keeps his little the black and white look. And Mark Twight, come to find out, had been doing, who's like a world-renowned climber, which I didn't really know about. But he had been working with Greg. There's some early, I think in the What is Fitness article, there's a little snippet discussion from a couple guys. Rob Wolf's one of them. Mark Twight is one of them, talking about the effectiveness of CrossFit. And
I think maybe Greg named Jim Jones.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. Oh, did we lose Souza? Oh,
he's gone.
Yeah, I think I hope I didn't accidentally push a button and kick him off.
Yeah. After the helicopter video, that was enough.
I think Mark Twight was staying at Greg's house. I think maybe Dave introduced Mark Twight to Greg, and he was staying at his house or something. And I want to say maybe Greg or someone named it, kind of as a joke, because like you drink the Kool-Aid. Jim Jones.
It's a fantastic name for a gym. But anyway, and then stumbled through Jim Jones, stumbled on CrossFit, and I think like a lot of people at that time who found CrossFit, I was sort of like, who are these jerks that acted like they invented the push-up?
Yeah.
But like anything, there's difference between knowing the path and walking the path. So you just, this is, this workout, they look so interesting and they look so unique and different from anything that I had knowledge of. I wasn't really in the fitness training world that much. And we just started doing it, throwing them in here and there, and it just stuck. And then I remember there was a level 1 in Ann Arbor, Michigan, at Doug Chapman's Hyperfit gym.
Wow, what year was that?
I think that was 2008. So anyway, my buddy Mike Bazillion was like, "Hey, do you want to go take their certification?" And I was like, "Yeah, let's do it. Let's drive." We drove from Massachusetts to Ann Arbor through Canada. I got a new credit card just to get my level 1, and we went there. And the likes of Joe DeGain was interning there. Katie Henniger took that level 1. Bill showed up too, just to hang out and help out. There's other current seminar staff, flow masters. Matt Dubrec, who's a seminar staff flow master from Canada, was there. He took the course.
How do I not know who Matt Dubrec is? He's been around since 2008.
Yeah, he's been on seminar staff for a long time. Probably one of our most senior flow masters up in Canada.
That's crazy that I don't
judges
know
at the games. Very fit dude. Got an epically beautiful, strong French accent. Yeah, he's the man. Doobie's a wild guy. But anyway,
Matthew Dubrec, certified coach, CrossFit level 4.
Yeah.
Oh yes, I recognize this dude. Yes. I recognize this dude. That's crazy that I don't know his name. This guy.
Yeah, I remember the first seminar I worked with him. We were up in Toronto at oh God.
He looks like a kettlebell dude.
What's Paul's last name? Why can't I remember it? I hate that. Anyway, Doobie, we did like heavy deadlifts at lunch, and he just blew his gaskets out deadlifting like 500 pounds for a double. Could barely walk the rest of the weekend. He's the man. He sends it.
Yeah, that's awesome. Wow.
But yeah,
was Greg at your level 1?
No, Greg. And I think it was when Greg had, because it was in 2008. So I think Greg had just kind of either taken a break or slowed down from him.
Was Nicole there?
I don't remember if Nicole was there. Boz was there. Dave was there.
Because that must have been one of the
Gilson was
first
there.
one. Wow. That must have been one of the first ones that Greg didn't
Yeah.
do.
Yeah. I think that's when they had just started that transition. And that's when we used to do, so they did 3 workouts. We did bottom. I think we did the bottom to bottom to bottom air squats. We did Fike on Bad. We did Fran. And then on day 2, we did that like super rotation where it was like 10 minutes at every station. You do like a 10-minute jump rope, 10-minute GHD. I think it was like a 10-minute single leg squat station.
A 10-minute GHD?
Yeah, it was like these, they were still figuring it out and tweaking it, but it was like that seminar was madness. It was so fun.
Wow.
I'll have to find, I have a video that somebody took of me doing Fran barefoot and board shorts because that's how you worked out back in the day, baby.
Or those Vibrams, the Vibrams.
I went through the Vibrams phase. And then Neil Thompson, owner of CrossFit Boston, said to me, he goes, think of the hottest girl you know. So, okay, done. He goes, now picture her wearing Vibrams. And I threw my Vibrams out immediately. I was like, Roger. Man, he gave me such great coaching advice. He was he worked on seminar staff for a while. And CrossFit Boston, under different ownership now, will celebrate, I think this year it's 20. It was an affiliate since 2005, so it's 21 years this year.
What was the guy's name?
Neil Thompson.
Neil Thompson.
Yeah.
And then when did you get on seminar staff?
I want to say 2010, October of 2010, I think. Halloween. Yeah. Halloween, October 2010 was my first real seminar. And I interned in August down at CrossFit Watertown under Joe Alexander.
Wow.
And I'll never forget what he said to me. And I finished my internship. And I remember I pulled this guy into the center and he was the worst mover in the group, this older fellow. He had he was the $6 million man. Every bone in his body had been replaced by metal. But he was a sport man. He was like wanted to learn, doing.
And when you say old, he was 40 because you were only 20.
At that time I was about I was 14.
Right. He's your age now.
Yeah. And man, he was like the guy, when someone like jumps when they're doing a push jerk, they like slam themselves in their chin with their knees, and then their feet hit the ground, and then they punch.
Yeah,
they've landed. Like he was that kind of mover, and I was like, I could fix him. Let's pull him into the center of the group. And I did a pretty piss poor job of doing anything effective, but I was probably charismatic enough to get people in the group to do this. Oh yeah. And I remember Joe pulled me aside and he said, you did a lot of good things this weekend. He's like, I think eventually you're going to get on staff. He's like, you really blew that one. He's like, you got to know your ability. And he's like, I kind of want you to go through another internship so you can just get more feedback and improve. And I thought I was not going to get on staff after that, but I did.
How did you blow it? Just that that guy wasn't fixable. You should have picked someone who was in your range.
Or I should have I should have been able to bring him in and identify clearly for the group. Here's what we can start with, and here's what we're going to sort of select to ignore right now. And here are the improvements we can make, and really identify and understand what is the, especially with you're trying to make a fix in 5 minutes, 4 minutes when you pull somebody in the center. Maybe a little bit more. So be a little bit more prescriptive in what we're going to try and fix, and have some realistic expectations.
What did the internship process look like for that? Do you just sit in the corner and take notes, and then they let you in a breakout group, or?
Yeah. So the first one, and I haven't been involved with this process in a while, and they've definitely refined the steps around it. But typically the first one, you do show up and you just need to be a helpful person, show that you want to work hard and you'll fit in wherever you can. And pay attention and take notes on the groups. And you kind of just do a lot of watching. Maybe on your first internship, you might coach a little bit of a strict press or an air squat or something like that. But typically you're just there to take in what is the structure of the weekend? How are you actually coaching an air squat in 20 minutes and then a front squat in 15 minutes, something like that. On the second time around or third time around, you'll definitely start to coach more, and you'll get feedback on that throughout the weekend. So
what did you study in college, James?
Man, not fitness. I was an English and philosophy major, and then I went to law school.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Right. I remember when you went to law school. Right.
Yeah.
What year was that? You went to law school? I think I remember that. I knew you.
I think I started law school in 2009 because I was getting into CrossFit, the thick of it with CrossFit. And then I graduated in 2011. Yeah. 10, 11. Yeah.
So you get on the level 1 team, and was there a level 2 when you got on the level 1 team? There was not, right?
I think so. Oh man, this is really digging deep. So at that time, It was
Mhm.
the old level 2 where it was basically just trial by fire. You came in, you coached
That was
a
the
group,
beatdown one?
the
No,
beat
no.
down,
Okay.
and you did a terrible job or you did not do a terrible job.
Yeah.
And
It
right
was
when I came on
pass or
staff,
you
they took
suck.
that
There
off.
was no you're good.
There was no you're good. Yeah.
It was called
Yeah.
Coaches Prep then, wasn't it? Or was
No,
it level
this
2
was
then
right
Coaches Prep?
before we switched on the coaches prep. So it
Like
basically
people
went.
were crying and shit. This is like people cried and shit.
Yep. It was the old level 2 ass beat down, where it was really just like, are you on par with these other seminar level trainers? And then you just got feedback and you went home.
And you
And
went to
then-
a room and got the feedback, like just
Yeah, like
one-on-one
3
and-
people. I think it was like
yeah.
Nicole and Boz and Pat Sherwood or Dave just sat there and stared you down. They were like, hey, great job on the air squat, but you suck at coaching the push press. So better luck next time. Go read the journal.
It was like a guy who's in prison. He's going for his probation.
Yes.
It's an
And they're like-
interrogation.
Yeah, it was like that's how I imagined it. And
Yeah.
I remember like you couldn't even go near the room when the feedback was happening, and
Oh,
because I
no.
just remember filming those, and then people would come out and they're like
Yeah. Just,
holding on for dear life.
Had to confess
Yep.
to a murder.
Yeah.
But yeah, and to fast forward through that, so that went away. And then right after, because the feedback from the community was like, we want something developmental. So we don't just go in there and just get, and that's when the CPC started.
What's CPC stand for?
It was coaches prep course. So that was what we replaced the old level 2 with. And that was more of like, you're going to teach some groups, but you're going to actually get feedback directly from trainers. And I remember the first one of those. I was on staff at the time and I interned at a CPC to try and be able to be eligible to coach those. And I was with Boz, and Boz all of a sudden goes, hey, you got this? And I'm like, what do you mean? He's running a group and doing his Boz thing, just sounding so cool and looking cool. And he's like, I got to go to the bathroom, and just walked away. And I stare back at this group. I didn't know what to do, but we got through it. So that was my first experience at a CPC. And then I started teaching those after like another internship or 2.
Where do you work in the company now? What's your role in the company now?
That's a great question. My technical role is a product manager for
Nice.
education.
God, I hate product managers.
Product
Yes.
manager.
A lot of people do.
When those were introduced, when Bruce Edwards came to the company and introduced those, I saw those as just one giant fucking. It was like throwing peanut butter into a fine working fucking machine.
There can
It's
be a bureaucracy element to PMs for sure.
Yeah.
I refer to myself as I'm the morale officer. Internal morale officer is what I want to be.
But in your defense, the program managers we got were hired. Like the program manager were hired outside the company. And so you have these people who we had all been working there 10, 15 years. We had protocols. We knew how to get shit done. And now there was someone like, so what are you guys doing? What's the goal? I'm like, are you out of your fucking mind? We don't have time for this bullshit. We got shit to do.
Yeah. So that's my technical role. And then before that, I was help leading the CrossFit.
What do you product? Oh, sorry, go ahead. Sorry.
No, yeah. So I work with a team of software engineers that manage everything in education. So developing new courses, people are in here talking about the level 4, software for, managing, tracking all our trainers. We mainly focus on the internal tools that manage all that stuff. It's not the sexiest job, but it's honest work. So everything related to courses, if we launch a new course, like building the software for that, how it shows up on the website, the flow through it. I'm and our team that I work with are not building the content for it. That still sits with, a lot of the EDU OGs. But as far as like the software and the infrastructure for it, that's what we do.
It kind of sounds what Leaf used to do. We called Leaf he was the chief publishing guy at CrossFit, but basically he knew CrossFit so well. So all the content you wanted to publish just funneled up to him. And then basically he could evaluate it at every fucking level. And then he would also tell you stuff like, give feedback to the media team, like, hey, we don't, we're out of videos or content with old people working out, or hey, man, we should do a whole cycle of squatting or videos, or you know what I mean? He would like tell us like what he would have that 60 things in the canon, and he'd be like, we're low on this. Can we get some kids? I'm guessing it's kind of like that for you too, since you know so much. Not only like you're not just like, hey, what step are we on and keeping on schedule? But if you see, because you probably know more than anyone on the team in regards to fitness and training, you can be like, hey, that doesn't make sense, or that's not CrossFit actually. That's not true to who we are.
I'll give some content feedback, but I mean, honestly, the content team is fantastic. I mean, Eric O'Connor's, creating
Oh,
content, Stefan Roche,
okay. So
that
they're
entire team, Bobby Millsaps, who's, leads our certifications. There have been people who have been doing this, for, Kelly Worrell, who basically like her specialty is in like creating education and courses. So not just like the content itself, but like the structure of a course. She's been creating courses for us forever. The sport team, Bosman for the judges course, stuff like that. So that team is pretty locked in. Sometimes I'll get asked some questions about weighing in on content and stuff like that, but they do a really nice job. I make sure I make sure they have like capability to actually put all of the great stuff they create somewhere. And
so you're
people
not on
can access
seminar
and use
staff
it.
anymore.
Technically, no. I haven't worked a seminar in a long time.
Wow, that's so interesting. I had no idea that you were doing that. That seems like such a. I would have never guessed you would have gone into that role.
Yeah, it was me neither. I think, but that's been the story of my life in terms of fitness and CrossFit and what happened to me post college. So I really like the team I work with. They're a really smart group. I learn a lot from them, and I get to kind of touch a lot of different things and have eyes on a lot of different things that it comes to EDU and education, our education department, and certifications and credentials, which I really enjoy. And I still get to coach. I coach part-time at a affiliate out here, CrossFit Mafia, which I absolutely love. I don't know if I'll ever let go of coaching part-time. I really like it. So
were you nervous? So the bread and butter of CrossFit, the level 1, disseminating the culture, the endless people who are like, holy shit, I learned more here than I did in my 4 years taking kinesiology at Tennessee Tech. You know all the stories. And then the level 2 comes out, and the level 2 is smashing. People love it. And then it goes through its iterations and it keeps getting better. And then I don't know when it was, but I feel like it was pretty recently. They switched the level 2 to a 1 day online, where I'm guessing where you were doing some of the heavy lifting, and then 1 day in person. And like us from the outside before it came out, we were shitting all over it. We're like, hey, that's like COVID shit. Like when they turned the level 1 into a 2-day course, it's like, what are you doing? You really are not going to get what you need out of that. But since then, the reviews of the level 2 are glowing. The one where it's split, people are absolutely loving it. We've had people call into the show saying it's so badass doing 1 day at home. Were you nervous about that?
yeah, for sure. For sure. And the only reason I say that is because like nervous is not the right word. I think
it's not where you come from. You know what I mean? I know you have deep roots, and the value of being in person.
And I've loved all the in-person courses, and I worked them for years, and you see that value of getting 2 days with somebody. And I've said this about the level 2, if you have the opportunity, and I've seen people in the community talking about this, if you have the opportunity to go to level 2 and it fits for you, the 2-day one, it's fantastic for the simple reason you just get more time and access to other affiliate owners or coaches like you, and you get more time and access to the trainers that are running the course. And I think for me, that was one of the most important things. In this 1 day, obviously you're losing an entire day as far as like that type of access, but you still have the opportunity to meet these people and then stay in touch with them, which I think is really important. That was certainly something on our mind. And does this sort of lose the essence of, what you get at a 2-day course? But at the same time, we were running into enough feedback from people of wanting something that was, a little bit more flexible for their schedule. And we were pretty confident that this was going to be something good for that group. It was just how many of those people are out there. And even people who go to the hybrid, so the 1 day, you do 1 day there's like 1 day of content of like online lectures and things like that, and then 1 day in person where you're doing the practicals, going through teaching the groups, getting feedback. Even the content, the feedback we get from them is like, I loved this course, I got a lot out of it. They might be looking into the future of like, when I get a chance, I will go to a 2-day. Things like that. So I've been really happy to see that feedback. So yeah, of course that was something we were nervous about, but because of the feedback and the effort that went into it and how many iterations that went through with the team, I think we were confident that it was still going to be something like really good and beneficial for coaches.
I think Suze's in the camp, and every time I hear this, I think blasphemy, but I've heard a lot of people say it too. I think Suze's in the camp where the level 2 is actually better than the level 1,
practical coaching,
which is crazy when I hear that. But a lot of people come on here and say that, And it's not like they're not poo-pooing the level one. Everyone knows the level one is amazing. But when I hear that, I'm like, holy shit, don't say that.
Yeah, I've had a hard time I know what you're saying. I've had a hard time describing this to people. To me, it's sort of like the level one is the spark. I don't know like the best way
Is
to
the
talk
level one the steak and potatoes, and level two is the dessert? And it's like,
no. They're just completely different meals. But I feel like just what you can get out of a level two because of the size of the course being, and by that I mean smaller, the potential for like what you could extract from that course, I think is so meaningful to your journey now that you're on the coaching journey. The level one is just this thing that opens your eyes to this, like, this world that you didn't know existed. And I think for that,
we call it red pill. We call it red pill.
It's red pill. There you go.
Yeah.
I thought like we're not supposed to say that. This is the wrong channel for red pill.
They
talk.
should change
Thank
the
you,
name
James.
of it
Thank you.
from level one to the red pill course.
I'll run that. I'll maybe we'll give that a shot.
Yeah, run that by the marketing team.
What were we talking about? Yeah, I don't know. There's some things I like about the level two so much, but the level one is also really special. They're just different.
That's what I would say. They're different, but I feel like with the level two, at least by the time that most people have gone to take that course, they've had some familiarity of being on the floor and coaching some people. So then for me, the reason why I think it was just so much more impactful is because you just have way more time where you're seeing correcting movement, and every time you're not going, like you're watching somebody else go through it, it's still just as valuable as when you're going through it. So like, I feel like there's just a ton of information that comes in. And then like, at least for me, and I've taken this course now 3 times, coaches prep, and then 2 level 2s when I had to get it renewed. And each time you're going to take something away from it. Like, I really feel you could take that course probably every single quarter, like 40 times a year.
Yeah.
And you would still take something new every single time. And you would, at least for me, I go back to the gym and I'm like fired up to coach. And
that's the part. That's the part.
huge.
Yeah. Cause that's the part what the level one does. You go home and you're like, God, I hope I don't injure myself with all the new shit I want to try when you're a newbie.
Yeah. And then you also go, at least I went home and I was like, I got to start zoning right now. And I'm throwing out all my food, but 5 ingredients.
Yeah. And I'm going to do every girl. I'm going to do every girl and get baseline for everything. I'll do 2 a day.
Yep.
You're like, what the fuck is going on? I can't have a double body weight deadlift.
Yeah. It does make you realize, man. Yeah. It's so humbling. I thought I was so fit before I mean, I was fit, but I thought I was like really fit. And then I went to my level one and realized how far I had to go.
I spoke to Dave yesterday, and I went out to dinner with him and Greg last night, and I said, "Hey, I'm having Hobart on," and he goes, "Okay, cool." And then he's like, "Oh, this guy's trying to." He was joking and just, "This guy's gonna try to snake me," and I go, "What do you mean?" And he goes, "Well, you are not gonna try. You are gonna snake him." And I go, "What do you mean?" And he goes, "Well, I think tomorrow during the weekend review, I was gonna announce something." And I was like, "Okay, can I ask Hobart about it?" He goes, "Yeah, it's fine."
Good.
So tell me this history of this. Yeah, he told me you could.
It's fine.
Yeah. Tell me this history of the level 4. When do you know when the level 4 first popped on the scene? What year? You can make up a date. I won't know.
Well, geez. So essentially what happened was the old level 2, the one where we talk about where you go in the room with the panel, and you're like probation officers. Essentially the concept of that was what the level 4 was going to be. And for that group, if you passed the old level 2, you were grandfathered into when we brought the level 4 back online.
Okay.
And really, I think the essential goal of the level 4 is like everything that you've learned and developed from a level 1, a level 2, a level 3 was to show your mastery and excellence in application of coaching. All of the stuff we talk about, the personality, the presence and the attitude, but also all the technical skills. Like, can you actually do that in a class and, across different types of classes? And the way when we brought the level 4 back online the first time, the way we were running it was you'd coach a Metcon. So like a, traditional couplet or triplet, couple rounds. Then in the evening, you'd come back and you'd coach a heavy day. And then you were evaluated on a set of criteria related to the 6 foundational coaching criteria that we talk about in the level 2. And, how'd you do? And you were rated by seminar staff trainers. And it was a panel. It was like 2 to 3 trainers. And they would evaluate how you did. And then from there it was a pass or fail to get
How
your
big would those
level 4.
classes? Where would you find those classes? You would just ask an affiliate, "Hey, can we do this at your affiliate?"
Essentially, that's kind of how it went. And what we started with was asking, affiliates who were run by seminar staff members for a handful of reasons, just some logistical considerations there. But the classes were normal class size, 10 to, X amount of athletes. I did mine at Verve. And I think this was when, I think at the time, Courtney Shepard owned it. So it had passed hands from Matt and Shree Chan. But I did mine at CrossFit Verve. I think Matt Loden also might have done his at that time. I think Matt might be one of the flow masters now who has taught the most courses. He's up there with the Chucks and the Eric O'Connors and
Wow.
Reese Rays.
What's his name? Matt Loden?
Matt Loden, yeah.
Wow.
But anyway, that's essentially what it was. You'd go in, you'd coach a class, you'd coach 2 different classes, you'd get evaluated. And the goal was to be able to have this real capstone moment of your mastery as a coach. Can you put it all together? Because we've seen technical specialists who nobody wants to listen to because they're boring and annoying. We've also seen the people who are just the cheerleaders, and they couldn't see knees touching if their head was in between them. You guys get the idea. Their knees coming in. So it's to show that mastery, and it's gone through a lot of iterations. We had it for the last couple of years. We took it offline again due to a handful of logistical reasons. And also, I think fundamentally it's inability to meet the demand of coaches who are capable of taking it and passing it. And I don't want this to come across as this is company James. For those of you in the comments I saw talking about this, that I just look at Gantt charts and say Q4 a lot. This is this voice. I get that this could come across as we're just trying to make it easier to have more level 4s to money grab or fill a coffer. It's not that. It's to make the level 4 available because we believe there are a lot more coaches out there who can meet the merit of the level 4. And because of how we were putting it out there, we were never going to be able to do that. It's going to take us forever to get to the coaches who were capable of doing that. Hold on, I got to plug in my computer.
Let me ask you this. Can you still hear me?
Yeah, I got you.
Okay. So my buddy Taylor wanted to take it because it was a crazy ass pounding session. And so few people passed. So few people passed. And I also know that anyone who thought it was a money grab is fully retarded. From my own personal CrossFit knowledge, I know the level 4 is by no means a money maker. It was a more, if anything, it helped the brand, but it was by no means making any money because it was just the amount of horsepower and manpower it took to critique those people and what you were putting in. By you, I mean HQ. And I know that my buddy Taylor was studying for it, and he had special, he used Pat Barber, and he used the gentleman who passed away in Indonesia to he was getting tutoring for it. He was scared but invigorated by it because he knew that it was hard and he wanted to go through that. Is it going to lose that?
No, I think it'll still be really challenging. What's going to change though is one of the big things we talked about is we don't want to leave coaches in the dark of why they suck.
Yeah.
If you're going to push this hard to get this, we want to, what does CrossFit do? We train trainers. We want to help you develop. And I've seen people I think there was a guy and he now got he's working with the Best Hour crew. I think he took the level 4 5 times, maybe more.
Wow.
Commitment. And
so that's the point, right? The point is there is a commitment to effort in your development if you're taking this course 5, 6, 7 times. Because here's the deal: it's not at his gym, so he's traveling to it.
Yeah.
It wasn't cheap, and I'm not saying we should give handouts just because you pay money. But one of the things we're going to bring to this course is you're going to be able to talk to a seminar staff trainer, and you're going to get feedback on your coaching, and hopefully help you develop through this process. So when you take your final evaluation, you've developed enough to pass and receive your level 4. So there is this grading aspect to it, but there now is going to be this feedback developmental aspect to it. And we felt like it was really important to bring this to this course because the net gain, I think, is still really important. You got somebody that's at the tip of the spear in terms of coaching that really care about, despite being very good, care about being even better. And now we're going to receive feedback from the best trainers in the world who have been doing this for, decades, to be able to sit across the screen from a Chuck Carswell and receive feedback on him on coaching for everything, technical, presence, attitude, how to relate to people. That's invaluable to me. And that's something we've wanted to bring into our courses for a long time, not just within the level 2 or level 1. And so the level 4 was the best place to do that. And we're going to launch with that this week.
Can you tell me what it looks like? Is it 1 day, 2 day?
Yeah. So this, and you're gonna love this. That's okay. This is gonna be online. And so
boy.
it's multiple
Oh,
sessions.
boy.
Yeah.
I knew he was going with that.
Tomorrow's show.
Can you walk us through also too logistically, James, like how you pull this off?
Yeah, for sure. So you sign up for the course. You go through like this little preamble online course portion. It's going to lay out the next, 4 steps of the course. You have up to 6 months to complete it. But throughout the course, you do a couple of things. You're going to video a class, and there's a whole discussion on there about like what you need to video your class, how you have to set it up, what kind of class we're looking for, generally what we need to see in this class. You got to be mic'd up so we can evaluate it. You submit your video to our evaluators. You get assigned a mentor on the team, and you'll schedule 4 different sessions with the mentor to receive feedback and development. And at the end, you submit 1 more class video, and that's what gets evaluated. In some ways, I think because of the video aspect, this is even harder than in person because there's a challenge there. But again, I think we wanted to accomplish this goal of being able to give people feedback more readily. And we wanted to make this more accessible to the trainers that we believe are capable of doing this and passing it. Our level 3 is our fastest growing group of trainers year over year. So there are more people who are like continuing to develop and want this. We have a lot of level 3s who've been holding that credential for a long time, wanting to get to level 4. But that's generally what it looks like.
So wait a second. So it's correct me if I'm wrong. What I'm hearing is it's the same as the original level 4 pretty much, except you've just taken out the logistics complications. Because before, if there was like 3 level 4s a year, you had to make it out to fucking like Canada. No one wants to go there. And you would fly out there and you would take it, and it's like pass or fail. Now you're saying basically it's the same thing, but you get to do it in the leisure of your own gym. You film it, we give you the feedback, you get a second shot, we give you the feedback, it's pass or fail. Will it still be hard? Will you still be just ass pounding people?
It'll still be hard, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, because forward facing, I've been very nice to you for an hour and 12 minutes. Forward facing, the red shirts are not getting the love that they deserve.
Yeah.
Are necessary for the business. They are the best trainers in the world. They carry the kernel, they carry the DNA, they have the commitment. They're like truly the best trainers in the world, sharing the best training methodology. We don't even fucking know who they are anymore. And so like that part really fucking frustrates me, because I think that's such an easy fix. And I think it's a win-win for everyone. It motivates the staff. It motivates it increases the brand value, and it gives a cachet to the affiliates.
And on top of that, it makes the levels of the training relevant. If you're going to have a white belt and a black belt, and we don't know the difference between the two of them, and we never see it, then
I want to know
point
who
of the belts at all?
We all knew fucking who the black belt trainers were back in the day, and like when I heard Eric O'Connor's always been a gangster, great athlete, great trainer. But when I heard that like he had at one point he had surpassed, Sherwood and Adrian and Chuck, I was like, how the fuck that should be like community folklore.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? That should be like, dude, there's this dude, Eric O'Connor. Oh yeah, I seen him in the videos. I think it's so. So I know I'm preaching to the choir probably, but if you make a video of Eric O'Connor training like squat therapy and all the different little easy videos you can make, and one comes out about him every single month for 5 years, that's 60 fucking videos. And then we know, and then when we go, so everyone wins.
You should have more of the staff on your shows, guys.
I agree. Don't pass the blame on to us.
I'm not passing blame. I'm helping share the opportunity of a solution.
Oh, thank God. You really are.
That was
really
good.
Are good. You've always been good. You've always been great.
Yeah, I totally agree with you on this, because and this is just sentimental. That's what gave me my livelihood in CrossFit. Like the competing was so good to me, and I lucked out so much with my timing and that. But it was really the fact the coaching career inside of CrossFit, you know, changed my life completely.
It's just
in every
such
way
a
for the better.
it's such a huge win. It's such easy, cheap content to make, and everyone wins. Affiliates, the brand, the trainers, the new aspiring people. Like it should be like everyone wants to be a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and you want to get it from a gym that you know is like, hey, I had to beat someone up.
Mm-hmm.
And that and we have that, but like no one, I don't know if people know anymore because it's such a short term. Every 4 years we're just going through a whole new cohort of people. You know what I mean? Like if you're not forward facing for a couple of years, people will forget who the fuck you are.
Couple months, really. Like,
Yeah.
let's be honest with how fast things move now. Like, it's got to
Yeah.
be top of mind and present.
I mean,
and
you know,
accessible.
the athletes who were like superstars when, you know, 10 years ago, no one even knows their name.
Yeah.
We've
And
had- yeah, go ahead.
no, I was gonna say, I think what's really important about it is like, you know, whatever, rightfully so. I don't care. Throw shade, but it's like we've been pretty lambasted for like, oh, CrossFit is just filled with all these suits and blah blah blah. And it's like, guys, the great majority of people that were here, you know, whenever heyday you like to associate with was going on, are still here, especially
Right.
on the training side. You know, we have so many staff members who are over 400 seminars taught, you know, started as, you know, wet behind the ears and are now very seasoned, excellent flow masters. Like all those people are still here. And I do hope, and I've said this a lot, we continue to shine light on them. I think this gives people are the best trainers, affiliate owners, coaches in our community access to the best trainers in our ranks. You know, like that's not going to hurt us. I get that we could bitch about for good reason about it's not in person or whatever. I promise it'll still be hard. But I promise it'll be more enriching, better for the community as a whole, because everybody's getting a net lift. You get to interact with the Eric O'Connors of the world, which is really cool. So I'm excited about it, but also I've had a lot of involvement with it. So I'm definitely biased.
What was the guy's name in who passed away in Indonesia? What was his name?
McCoy.
So a buddy of mine, who's on this podcast a lot, is probably one of the most cocksure, arrogant people I know in every way. And he's earned that. He is like a crazy CrossFit nerd in every way. Athlete, trainer, coach, anatomy. I mean, he is just a junkie to the highest level. And like, he said he thinks no one can coach better than with him. He hung out with fucking McCoy for like 10 minutes. He's like, oh my God, dude.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what? He's like, dude, he's the fucking greatest. Like, he's the greatest coach. He's greatest at feedback. He's fit. He knows how to talk to me. He's like just draw. And he reached out to my buddy. It's Taylor Self. Reached out to him. Was like, hey, dude, I heard you want to take your. I mean, how awesome is that? I heard you want to take your level 4. Let me know if you would like some. You know, I'll help you get you up to speed. And like Taylor doesn't come like with like an opening in his shell. He's like, yeah, okay, what the fuck are you gonna teach? And he said, first, and he was addicted to meeting with the guy and filming classes and sending to him and getting feedback. And it's like, how, like, that's gotta be front and center. I think he even did a feedback show with McCoy on our channel, and it killed.
Yeah, those were really genius. I think there was more than one of those.
Killed.
With the little feedback discussions they have. And
Yeah.
McCoy walking Taylor through his classes were really cool.
But the brand,
really
like outside of all the like benefits, just the brand value. He was beautiful to look at, and it was just like, yeah, it was good. It was good. I miss those. Even when I worked at HQ and I was around these trainers all the time, I would go to a level 1 and I'd be like, and there'd be like a trainer there I hadn't seen except on video. I'd be like, holy shit, there's so and so.
Yeah.
And they never disappoint. You know, a lot of people, you meet them in like you meet me in real life at the games, you're like, what the fuck? He really is a little old man. Like these guys didn't disappoint.
They're a great group. They still are a great group. You know, those ranks are growing. I think there's a lot of good that'll come out of bringing this back online. And the other thing is this: we had this
product manage. Can't we project manage? You want me to put together a action plan for videos to promote trainers for you, free of charge?
I mean, go ahead. I will pass. I'm not the guy. You know, I'll make a lot of noise about it, but
pass it up to the manager.
Yeah. Okay. I've been having a shitload of affiliates on, who are having great signups. By the way, blowing my mind. It's all such good dudes, and chicks. One girl. The girls don't really own gyms.
I think we had an
But-
equal number, 2 and 2.
Oh, have we? Oh,
Yep.
but maybe I need to do a
red shirt show.
red shirt show. Maybe that's
Yeah.
I just
Ooh,
need to
that's
do
a
red
good
shirt
name.
show. Yeah,
Not red pill shirt show,
Yeah.
red shirt
Yeah.
show.
Red shirt show. Get red shirted. One of the other things too, and I've been on this tip since like 2019, is like we talk a lot about I don't work at HQ. I don't work at HQ. The people that blame me in
we all
Hiller's
work at
comment
HQ.
section about the live streaming it, assholes. Anyhow, one of the things
Your
I've been
live
talking
stream
about.
was amazing. Your live stream was amazing. It was good.
Thank you.
Not as good as
Um,
Hobart's one camera one.
Man, you ran up that hill though.
I did. I got 5th, dude. 5th in that event.
I didn't even place, so I mean that's something. 5th is something.
And they, talking about accessibility a lot. The L1, and this has to be continuing because I know that it's been like this in the past. It needs to be in every single form of consumption. It needs to be animated. It needs to be in audio. And one of the things that was talked about at the affiliate gathering the other weekend was, and this is a conversation that happens all the time, especially with people that have been around CrossFit for a long time, is, hey, what's going on with the CrossFit Journal? And the talk we got from Dawn about that was, hey, well, at that time, there was this, cutting edge technology was just being able to download a PDF off the internet. And right now, if we just brought back the old journal, that would be very antiquated compared to technology. And in my mind, I'm sitting there, it's like, yeah, dude, aggregate it all through AI and give me a search bar. So when I show up at CrossFit.com, it looks like Google, but it just says CrossFit, your single source of truth for fitness and health. And there's a search bar. And every time I search for something into there, it populates from the CrossFit Journal and from subject matter experts that are within our school of thought that have reviewed papers, that have written papers, that have been published. So when I go there and I type something in, I could have a conversation with this. And here's the thing. It is not that difficult to develop. I mean, it's just not.
Project manage that shit.
And so making that should be the evolution of the journal. And then I also think too that, man, I would just love to see so much more of the lectures and things. And I know that there's already quite a bit of material out there, but like the continued publishing of all the lectures that are happening, all the interactions that are happening in the L1s and the L2s, not only with, the red shirts, but also with the participants and everything else. Like all you would have to do is just like look at a Tony Robbins thing and just model that. Like, how does he get, 10,000 people to pay $5,000+ on a low end ticket to show up for this like Hyrox thing each weekend? It's like there's other things, there's other paths of success that when you look at selling a course, and a lot of it, and this has been part of CrossFit's ethos, is like give the whole entire thing away for free to make it so cool that I want to show up and to like be a part of it, right? And it just, man, it drives me nuts because I feel like that's the massive differentiator that we have as CrossFitters. That's the massive differentiator that we have as CrossFit affiliates. Like we are experts with the barbell. Like we could run a great class and teach gymnastics. We could oscillate between having the young 20-something that likes the competitive nature and somebody who's getting into their 60s that might be exercising for the first time because they got some bad news in the doctor's office. And like that ability, that breadth and depth that we have as trainers and we should be striving for would elevate. I mean, especially with the quality control thing, right? Like if you put so much stuff out there that people are watching and saying, hey, I expect this level of expertise in a class because I've seen so much content come out of CrossFit.com, that will help start to elevate the other affiliates. Be like, man, I better really step it up here and make sure I'm developing my staff in a way that's going to adhere to what people are seeing and coming into my door expecting of.
Yeah, I like all that. I think one of the things, Leaf actually said this to me a long time ago. He said, hey, we can't let CrossFitters get dumb. And I really, to me, what this means is like, I don't think every CrossFitter needs to be a level 4. Be cool. But like the majority of us need to be really interested in knowing more and developing as coaches. So to your point, yeah, I totally agree with you about the, accessibility and knowledge. And I think we're turning back in this direction of like highlighting, making it like sexy and cool to be like a coach in the know.
Mm-hmm.
Because for a while that was, in the shadow of the sexiness of the games. I don't think that's necessarily wrong. there's a lot of cool places for this that, we look at the TPC with a professional coach, which you take your level 1. It's a bi-weekly email that goes out, multiple articles, again, written by the likes. Sometimes it's user submitted articles, which is
What
really
is this
cool.
you're referencing? A what?
The TPC, professional coach.
The quizzes are awesome. I take
But
the
this
quiz
is a
every
good
week.
example of something where we need to the pro coach. Oh boy. I don't even think you can find it from our website because originally I'll put it. It was
Hey,
just
CrossFit. I
Google
didn't even know that existed. The pro coach, CrossFit puts that out every week. Every month?
CrossFit.com /pro-coach. Yeah, just Google search CrossFit Pro Coach. The professional coach. You're enrolled in this when you finish your level 1. It has a huge, and you get an email. It actually does really well in terms of like people interacting with it. But again, a lot of people don't know about it. You don't know about it.
No, I never heard of it.
So one of the projects we are looking at long term is like, how do we continue to surface this information? And again, not make it like easy for people. Like, I don't want us to think we're making it easier, but like you talk about, Souza, making sure they can access this information, whatever medium you like to access this kind of information. Because we're still producing this stuff on an ongoing basis. This is still going out there. This is on a bi-weekly basis. We have the master coach quiz, which I don't know if you've seen. That's pretty new. And that was kind of just started like a little one-off side project, but it's getting some really awesome traction and people have seemed to really enjoy it. And we're going to, that is now available in the app. If you have the CrossFit app, you'll get hit with this when you log in. So yeah, I totally agree with you on making sort of the coaches sexy again and making it like okay and encouraged to develop your brain as a coach. We definitely have some hurdles to get over with this one, but yeah, I don't disagree. Yeah, this is
this
awesome.
page is awesome.
Yeah, and it's just one of those things where it needs some love.
Yeah. I mean, there's so many different paths that you could take from that too, right? Like you could even like do a whole entire, to use the word campaign here around that and have different people inside the space promote it, right? Like, yeah, it just, man, I had this fit of rage when I went to CrossFit.com and I like to do this thing where I'll type into Gemini and ask it to look at a website for 5 seconds and tell me what it stands for, what problem it's solving, and what exactly I will get from it, right? And basically it came back and it was like, yeah, you are a competitive athlete that is looking to validate and compete. And you do this because you really want to be a competitor. And it was just like, okay, that should be great if it was the games.com.crossfit, but it's not. It's freaking CrossFit.com. And so it's just, I just think that there's so much opportunity in the timing right now. It's like, we finally had this like enlightenment on what we've been doing as CrossFitters for 20 years, like come to the forefront of mainstream culture in the United States. And it should be our moment. Like we should really be capitalizing on a lot of the change that's happening.
Yeah. Hold on. Let me divert really quick. Lauren Knowles, I totally hear what you're saying. The level 3 can feel like an unwieldy beast. That being said, you can email me, james.hobart@crossfit.com, or just DM me. I think my Instagram's @JamesHobart. And if you're really interested in this, I'll kind of help walk you through how I would study for this, how I've given other people advice to study for it, and make their way through the bulk of knowledge that is a level 3. So if you're interested, happy to help you out with that journey.
And her and her husband have been around forever.
Yeah. No, I get that it's an unwieldy beast. I think with the level 3 really quick, and then Souza we'll talk about that. What you were saying. The level 3 is a CrossFit test, people. If you've been doing CrossFit for 5-10 years and you're paying attention, not saying you're going to pass, but like you're very much on the right direction. I think everybody sits down for this level 3 and they think they have to know something outside of CrossFit. It's just a deeper layer of the CrossFit onion. So let me know if you want help with that. I'm more than happy to help. Yeah, El Padrino, DM me. Just don't, send something nice.
Early photos.
Yeah, making coaching sexy again, I think is really important, and highlighting coaches in the community is really important, and highlighting seminar staff is really important. I do think, circling this back to your point, Souza, it's on the top of our mind. I think the level 4 is a really nice hurdle for us, because there is this balance of us focusing on big E education, which is our credentials, And then I think it's also us returning to nurturing what I call little E education, which is how I learned CrossFit, talking to other coaches. I'm not saying we should bring back the message board. It is 2026. There's better ways to communicate, but that kind of communication, reading journal articles. The other one I think is really important. And this sounds like me towing the party line, but like, if you have not gone back, Max Isaac, good friend of mine, runs CrossFit Tilt, multiple gyms in the Boston area. He's having his gym do CrossFit.com from 2001. They're just starting it and going through it. Obviously, if you've gone back and looked at those workouts, some are like not going to fit in a class.
Yeah.
But the amount of education that's in there, and also the ability to reflect on like, hey, I've looked at 200 workouts from 2001 to 2002. And every time double under shows up, there's 10 reps. Now we're in 2026. We're doing workouts with hundreds of double unders in them. Like the ability to reflect on like what we knew back then and what we hadn't learned yet versus what we've forgotten about now, but have learned is so valuable. And I think if you're not doing a little bit of CrossFit.com as a coach, you're really missing out on like a crucial learning point. It doesn't have to be the only thing you do, but man, you were like, you're missing the boat as far as learning. So
that's a great point.
Being able to bring that kind of stuff. So we have a pretty big project right now investigating how do we make CrossFit.com workouts searchable in a more usable way. So yeah, improving search is on the top of our mind.
Bad boy and utilize that AI again, man. One of the things that, to your point about the early years of the .com, I go back to that all the time because I love being able to see kind of not only the evolution, but there's nuggets in there because I imagine that this was a lot of workouts take over from when Greg was still actually coaching classes. And some of the stuff that I utilize a lot is like, they will do like, let's say a heavy deadlift day on Tuesday. And then on Friday, it'll be this variation of Diane before it was Diane, but it'll say use 70% of what you got on Tuesday's workout. And so like, there's ways that you could take that and kind of personalize the Metcons for people by layering it in from that week. Like, or, hey, one of the things I talked about with Greg a while back was the 5K. So you have the class run a 5K 1 week, and then maybe the next week or the following week, you take the order in which they came and then you stagger the start. So the person who came in last now gets that much of a head start over the person who came in first.
Yeah, I remember that.
Then you have the person who came in last is now got this big head start, and you're like, do not let them catch you. You know, this is your time. So it's relevant to you. So when you take off, you run like hell. And then as they go off, then you take the person who finished first and you went, okay, your job is to try to catch them. And you'll be able to develop this like intensity, but based off of their numbers. And so I love stuff like that. I utilized it a lot with the fire department too, because a lot of them will get into this mode where some of the guys are really competitive. The other ones don't want to be competitive and it's a turnoff to them. So if I have them set their own scores and they're trying to beat them, then they get way more into it because now it's like, okay, cool. I did this rounds a couple of times last time and I'm going to try to go in and get 2 or 3 more reps of whatever it is. And I know that I'm just competing against myself to make sure that I'm keeping up on my fitness and pushing a little bit harder, as opposed to just like, hey, Matt, you're going to go up against Taylor's self. Now try to beat him. And it's like, no shot in hell. You know what I mean? So then rather than get the wind taken out of my sail, it gives me a little bit of motivation because it's just me versus me last time.
Well, going back to the Hyrox thing, I do think that's why it's important to have the standard and to be pushing toward a standard and having coaches who are knowledgeable of what the standard is and actually how to help people get there. Because we all don't start there. All 3 of us moved like garbage when we started CrossFit. I didn't move well, didn't lock. You didn't. You moved perfectly. It was all that yoga.
I moved so well. And I'm going to tell you something. I moved.
It's all spirit cigarettes.
I moved so well at my level 1. Nicole Carroll came up to me, and she's like, "Holy!"
Did she make you the demo boy?
She's like, "Your squat's incredible," and she called Greg over, and she's like, "Show Greg your squat." And I remember Greg just looked at it and didn't say anything and walked away.
It's approval.
That's sometimes what you need, though.
Okay, so sorry, go ahead. So all of us except Sevan moved like shit when we started.
All of us who started CrossFit except Sevan moved like garbage. And we learned and we got better. And I do think we need more pressure on that again of like, what is the real importance of a coach? Because I do think one of the downsides, and somebody said this, I think it might've been CrossFit Port Clinton. Yeah. Said this in the comments. I think something that we forget about, and Connor Murphy said this when he came up. He's been was on seminar staff for a long time. Good friend of mine, coached at Reebok CrossFit One. One of the most electric and engaging personalities you could come across, when someone's standing in front of a room. He came up to his level 2, and afterwards he goes, I thought I was the best coach in the world. And he's like, after my level 2, what I realized is like CrossFit's just really freaking effective, even if I'm a bad coach. And that's a good thing and a bad thing, right? It's a good thing because it does away with this whole myth of the CrossFit boogeyman that doing CrossFit's gonna just destroy you and ruin your life and it's dangerous. But it's a bad thing. And it also means anybody can do it. You can do it in your garage. You can do it in an affiliate. You can do it with less equipment, wall balls to a pegboard, doesn't matter. Wall balls to this beautiful rogue target. The bad part about it is like, I can just, getting high on my own supply. I can think I'm the world's best coach because the technology of CrossFit is just so damn good. Even when, and I've said this a lot, even when applied poorly or applied without me knowing all the ins and outs of it. So we have to keep pressure on each other and ourselves, not just to enforce sports standards and range of motion, but just like enforce like coaches developing and getting better throughout the process. And I do think the benefit of level 4 coming back online is that it puts that, it puts the crown on top. Like this is something we can all fight to pursue and try and push back towards and obtain. And that is when we get better. So I'm excited.
What is the date on the launch?
I don't want to steal all of Dave's thunder. I have a meeting with him today. I don't want to hear about this. This
is
week.
It soon?
This week.
Oh, no shit.
Come hell or high water. Yeah. It's going to fill up fast. So if you're interested in your level 4, keep your eyes up.
Yeah, it's going to fill up really fast. Will you be like, hey, it's at 3 p.m. on Tuesday, or will you let us know like that?
I can let you know. Well, I think Dave will announce a specific day. It should be midweek this week. It won't be Friday. I don't think it'll be Thursday. I'm hoping it's Wednesday. So
okay. And
hey, will you guys?
Go ahead. Sorry, Susan.
I was gonna ask you. Hey, will you guys ever consider sponsorships for advertisements of the L1?
What is it? What do you mean?
Like we play an L1 commercial. We talk about it all the time. We put links in the thing. Like.
So you want us to give you some money?
Yes.
No, I want to promote. I want to promote the education seminar with the full backing and faith of HQ behind me.
I mean, I can't speak for that, but I think it would be cool if you do it.
All right. Okay.
When do games tickets go on sale?
Oh, geez, I do not know the answer to that question. I'm so not involved in that part of the world.
What do you do at the games? What did you do at the games last year? What was your role?
Man, last year I was just the morale officer. I was the smile and wave crew.
Say shot videos for us.
Yeah, shot videos for you guys.
We got a lot of good content from you last year.
A lot of good stuff.
And I was just there to like give people high fives when they were looking down. This year, if I'm not competing as an old guy,
you might try to make a run at Masters.
I don't know, man. It's we're taking it day by day.
Sick.
What's happened to the Masters division? Where is it where you're like, God, those guys got so fucking good?
Well, I think it's all of it. It's everything at the top of the sport. What has happened is what we predicted 10 years ago. In 10 years, everyone in CrossFit is just, is going to be really fit. So rising tides,
Mm-hmm.
The teens. So we did that event with Nick Matthew at Coda where he did Randy.
Yeah.
And then before that, we ran 3 or 4 heats of just the people coming in and doing Randy. And there was a young lady there named Fiona. She competed last year as 14, 15 teen. This year she's competing to make it to the 16, 17. She aged up. She did Randy in sub 3.
Oh,
she's
boy.
16 years old, I think.
Jeez.
So my whole point is with the Masters in that entire group, there's some former individual competitors trickling into that group. But then you just have people who have just been doing the program for a long time and doing it well, and they're just fit as hell. It's crazy. It's absolutely
By the way,
crazy.
the education around the kids CrossFit program is absolutely insane. I think Todd Whitman put it together. It's insane.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything even remotely close to it. It doesn't get a lot of love, but boy, I've looked through that manual. Holy cow. That thing is robust.
It's an amazing course. I feel bad. I should look up when tickets go on sale. I should know that.
I don't think anyone knows.
It's a mystery.
I don't think it's been announced.
but I got boxes for sale. So
We're
I'll
just
let your boy.
we're just fishing for information.
Well, it's what I was going to ask, depending on what I do at the games. I was talking to Rios and just, maybe if I need something to stay with, can I sleep in the basement of whatever your Airbnb is? I might, if I don't end up competing at the games.
Oh, yeah.
I want to go, what I really want to do, and I did this a couple of years ago, is I want to coach the classes, help the seminar staff coach the classes that they put on throughout the day. It's the most fun. Everyone's happy. It's where I feel most at home. And so that's maybe what I'll be doing out there.
We have Biomax Peptides got us an insane house, walking distance to the venue. It's sick.
All right. Well, I'll stay there.
I was gonna make it very elite and for the people who stayed there, but we might be able to fit you in.
Okay.
Very elite.
I'll find somewhere to stay.
Very. I'm sure
Yeah, I can also just sleep
CrossFit's
outside.
don't they normally get you a presidential suite?
Yeah, they do. Right next to Dave's, actually, just so I can just bang on his wall to keep him awake all night. Play loud music.
What do you think the percentage chance is that you do the games as masters? Is it 50-50?
Yeah.
Oh wow. So you got an itch you need to scratch.
This would be if I made it, this would be year 10. I really admire a lot of things about the Masters competitive community. Yeah. I got to get stronger.
How old are you?
I'll be 40 in June.
Okay, yeah, that's a tough division.
So, yeah.
All right, and you're allowed to, if you work at HQ, still compete?
I mean, unless I think everyone, in the community voted me off the island, yeah. And that's one of the reasons I've worked really hard to stay pretty far away from the game season this year.
Nice. I'm looking for that. Did Fiona go to the games last year?
She did. Let me look up her name.
I wanted to see.
Hold on a second here. Teenage CrossFit Games. Oh, she's from CrossFit Coda. Fiona Noyes, I think. Age group games. Oh, sorry, 2024. Sorry, I apologize. Not 25. 2024. She was in the age group games, I believe. Oh yeah, 2025. Yeah, she was 4th last year for girls, 14 to 15. Fiona Noyes, Noyes. Yeah, super fit. That's what I think is happening. I mean, like I said, I think the program works. CrossFit works, which is cool.
No one even looks 14 to me anymore. Everyone's so big and strong.
Yeah. And watching her move a barbell, you're like, that's not a kid. She's pretty incredible. But there's tons of those. And now you see the down peppers and the Spragues and the Olivia Kurtzstetter's in the sport now, who started off as teens, which is also amazing. So
yeah, did you see?
Jeez.
Did you follow Olivia Kurtzstetter?
Not closely, no. I mean, early on when she was still training under Hepner, I followed a little bit of her teen career.
She posted a photo montage of her CrossFit journey, and man, she was like just this little girl.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy.
The most frustrating part about Masters is how crazy fit people your age are that do CrossFit. Yeah.
Yeah, it's insane.
I mean, I've said this forever. It's what made not even the Masters competing, but it's what really, and I was probably 5 or 6 years into my CrossFit coaching journey at this time. I was already on staff, but that's what really made me believe about CrossFit being effective, is when I saw my mom start doing it. We had a guy last year did the Open, celebrated his 80th birthday during the Open. And to see, and I always hear these people say like, they're like, they talk about like how fit they feel and like, oh, I don't feel 60. And I'm like, no. I think you feel exactly like a 60-year-old person could feel if they gave a shit or had the tools to take care of themselves and made the choices like you've had to take care of yourself. So they're an incredible group. That's one of the reasons I would like to compete maybe one more time, just because of like just a little love letter to what it does and what I've seen it do for people I care about. And, it's like, I don't want to get older, but doing CrossFit as you get older makes it seem like getting older is not as bad as I thought it was going to be. So
I will say this: young people who respect older people for doing CrossFit, when you get older, you'll respect it even 1,000 times more, because you kind of can't imagine, like the things that that come with like being older and doing shuttle runs are way different. Like just changing direction, the shit that you feel is stuff that you didn't even imagine. Like you can't even fake feel. Like everyone knows what heavy feels like, so it transfers from being young to old. But there's other movements that you can't imagine until you get older. So I'll go out and play two-hand touch with the boys, flag football, and I'll feel shit that's like, oh shit.
yeah, like I said, the box jump overs, the jumping one is the fast, high pace rebounding is probably the only one where I'm like in my mind as I'm doing it, I know that this doesn't quite feel like it used to.
Yeah.
Like certain things feel better, certain things feel harder because I don't do them as much anymore. But that's the only one where I was like, this feels a little bit different.
Yeah. I'm trying, this is probably not a good compliment to CrossFit, but CrossFit also lets you hide a lot of those things as you get older because of the movements that we do. We don't have a lot of change of direction, but the shuttle runs, you're like, oh shit.
Yeah, that's maybe different topic, But yeah, I totally agree. Agree.
All right, level 4 this week. If you want to take it, so do you know, is there a cap to how many people can get it this year, just based on the funnel where it narrows?
So we have like a goal for this year, but one of the discussions we've had is we expect a lot of people to want to take this, and so we want to try and take as many of the restrictions off as possible. So I won't share the number on the cap, because one of our goals immediately is to make sure we don't have to hit that cap. So
okay, fair enough. But I do think it's going to be hugely popular. You're right, and I think there's a lot of people. How long has the level 4 been offline? More than a year, right?
Yeah, more than a year.
Yeah, I think it's going to be. I think it's going to be pretty crazy.
And I mean, the upside is this: like, you do get access to some of the best trainers in the world giving you feedback, which is for a lot of us. If you are the head honcho at your gym, it's very hard to get feedback. So I think for that, it's going to be really valuable, and I'm excited. And you know what? We're going to take feedback on it, and the level 4 a year from now probably won't look like what we've launched here, but that's what we've done with every single course we've launched. So,
James versus Jason Grubb.
Man, he's really fit.
Yeah, he is.
He's I think luckily he's a little older than me. So last time I competed as a masters, I remember getting past, we did a 4-mile run or something like that, and they did all the age groups together, and I remember I was like just panic looking over my shoulder because I heard footsteps, and this 17-year-old kid ran by, and he goes, "Don't worry, man, I'm not in your division."
Oh, shit.
It was so good. Young gun, just blazing.
Don't worry.
But it was really funny.
The crazy thing about Jason Grubb is that how healthy he stays, or appears to stay.
Yeah,
with how hard he goes. Yeah, his health, his longevity is wild.
Wait, yeah, that's the one thing I feel like I still have going for me, is like I'm pretty durable and I feel real. I think in some ways I feel better than when I was in my 30s, early 30s. For sure.
Oh, Rios just sent me this. Thank you, Rios. God, I should pay more attention to my text messages. Look at this.
Man, he just made a juicy little video.
Oh, he did?
I'm excited I hope he shows it to you soon.
Yeah, was that like, I wonder,
a little voiceover.
Yeah, it was great. It's really good.
You saw it? Have I seen it?
I don't think you've seen it. I haven't sent it to you. It's just a short little, like, basically it's just a little plug for the open, I suppose you could say. But yeah, I didn't know what he was making that for, if he was just doing for funsies, or if there was that was a project.
Well, he asked me to send him a voiceover for something else, and then he liked it, and he's like, I'm going to make a separate video on this. So
yeah, it's sick.
Yeah, I love working with him. He makes me feel like I actually am like have a slightly above average IQ.
You do, slightly above.
So, it's good.
James, thanks for coming on, dude.
Man, this was great. We almost went 2 hours. That was an awesome chat. It's nice to be back on.
We'll schedule you up. We'll schedule you up for the other channel too.
Thank you. I mean, I can.
You can.
The Red Shirt Show. Don't forget about it.
I won't.
And
I
don't tell
won't.
Dave, because I think he had some idea. He was like, I want to interview all seminar staff. So beat him to it.
Yeah.
But listen, those are
he's
going to
got
get like
lots of
4
ideas.
views each. Yeah.
But they'll
those are
look
gonna-
good on. I got to talk to Vera and get that camera set up.
Oh,
he's gonna
man.
get like 4 views. I told him, I said, get out of the affiliate fucking videos. Jesus Christ, I mean, no one wants to watch you. Crying out loud.
Yeah, thank you guys. This was awesome. I got to
Yeah,
come
thanks,
back
dude.
more. I appreciate it.
All right, brother.
Anytime.
Talk to you soon.
Later.
Ciao. The extraordinary James Hobart. James, why did you and Froning break up? We missed you. Wow, 9 out of 10. You gave our other show 4 out of 10 and that 9 out of 10? I don't even... Are you out of your mind?
I don't think James and Rich broke up at all.
No.
Definitely not.
Their paths just... they went on different paths.
Yeah.
Holy shit, my heat keeps going on. I don't know why. I turned it way down. I was getting hot. That's why I kept getting up.
I know I turned mine up over here and it blew a fuse. That's why I dropped off.
Oh.
Yeah, I have a little power strip underneath the desk that everything's plugged into. And I kind of knew I shouldn't have done that. I should have just taken it straight into the wall, but I threw it in there and like turned it up. And all of a sudden it was just like, boom. And all my stuff went black. I was like, oops, there's the limit.
Dave Castro Weekend Review will be later today. Susan and I will be back on. Level 4. I'm pretty excited about it. I think they are going to have a real bottleneck. I think that one's going to be hugely popular. I'm excited for them.
Yeah.
When do you think we'll see action on promoting trainers again?
I've been thinking about this for a while of like just the internal function of HQ. And I just can't wrap my head around it. I just don't know. It's like everybody that I've talked to publicly and in private, like all seem to want to push in a very similar direction, but do not have the resources to be able to do so.
It's so this one's so easy.
Dude, not only is it easy, but you could hit all your KPIs and all your ROIs with this one. You know what I mean? Like there's
That's like
certain
marketing talk.
Yeah, I mean, there's certain things that you're like, hey, you have to invest in brand, and we're going to spend $1 million on creating content, and you might not see, a result from that dollar-wise for like a long period of time, right? And that's always hard to get people to invest into. But with something with like the red shirts and how is CrossFit back right as James is gone? Isn't that interesting? But with something like
wow. No cross fat the entire show.
As soon as James is gone, he's back.
Wow, I'm scrolling through. Not one cross fat the entire show, and James is gone and cross fat's back.
Isn't that the crazy? I had a thing. God, it's either CrossFit just like fucking with us or something, dude. God, that's so good. And the legend continues. But the thing about the red shirt stuff and the access, like the whole entire .com should literally be nothing but promoting the education. Like it just makes no sense to me that you wouldn't push that a lot, because I mean that is the funnel to affiliateship, which is kind of
and that's where the brand
upsell
value is established. It's like that line you said, single source of truth for health and fitness.
Yeah. I mean, that should literally just be the tagline across the front, and it should be a very simplistic website that just leads you to education. And I mean, like you were there in 2019 when I suggested that all of it should have its own audio, like all those articles should be audio versions so you could just listen to them. I mean, there's just so much that can be done with the things that are already there just to re-amplify it and reinvigorate them, on top of the ability to continue to promote it. Like it doesn't make sense why they wouldn't invest massively into that.
I never go to .com. I just went here. This is the first time I've been here in
boy,
in forever.
See, you're not even on. Click the CrossFit up in that left-hand corner. Oh, that's. I think you're at the games now, though. Like, go to CrossFit.com. Because yeah, that's it. Look at what I'm looking at. The open registration's live. Okay, now scroll down a little bit. We got a video, scroll down a little bit. And then now we have like, is CrossFit for you? So like, what does that tell you right away? Like what's the purpose of this website? And like the is CrossFit is for you almost tells me like, and then like ready to compete. Like, are you kidding me?
Oh. Well,
Right?
that's probably just for this week, right?
No, I mean, it's been up since they started pushing it. Why is it up at all? That's not what
Well,
.com is about. That's the games site, dude.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
It should have like, why, like it should not be on there at all. And then you have like the frequently asked questions, expert, then like find things. So like this website is like half of it's supposed to be lead generation. Half of it's just advertising the games. Like this isn't.
It all starts with a choice.
Mhm.
You don't feel strong. You don't feel.
All right. Yep. Sorry to interrupt. Sorry.
No, I mean, it's just if you're somebody who heard about CrossFit or whatever and you happen to go to CrossFit.com first,
Yeah.
that should be catering to the vision and the mission in education.
Just bam, right in your face.
Right in your face. Like who are we? This is what we stand for. Not like, are you ready for CrossFit or like, welcome to, like, that's what the individual affiliate websites are for. Like that's where you have that for. That's those like my website is nothing but lead gen. And so like, but even this, right? Watch. Like on my site here, right away, you're going to know exactly like what happens when you walk in the door, because there's a video that plays immediately when you walk through the door, and it's going to showcase all the different type of people. It's going to walk you through the different portion of the class and what's happening. And you're going to get to see it kind of in real time. So like, that's
awesome.
Like that's what that looks like. So it's basically saying like, hey, I know CrossFit is a group class, but what's it going to look like? What are the type of people that are in there? Like how are the movements going to be? Right. So you get to kind of see a peek inside. And then afterward, you have exactly like what it is. Then we have testimony from people that have done it. Right. And then we have the core of our program. And then booking stuff. So it's like, then you have, here's the programs: onboarding, CrossFit, youth strength and conditioning, right? Like you need to be able to have a website that's going to showcase not lead generation or walking through, like it just needs to be all about the mission, what CrossFit stands for, the vision, why it exists, education.
I went on the CrossFit app today and got a 3-question quiz about stuff from the level 1. It was interesting. I didn't even know there was an app.
I didn't know there was an app, but I was signed up for the pro coach thing because I get the quizzes every week in my email, which is cool. I like taking those.
I kind of like the old plain text scroll of WODs and articles found, interesting seminar picks and dates. Yep, I love the old website too.
Mm-hmm. And that's the other thing too. Like you would have to go to the courses tab, courses near me. Like back in the day, it was just displayed on the side. So like it was super easy to find out what was available and what wasn't.
I don't even know if my computer doesn't even know my login.
So Tanner Davis, the app has so much of what you're asking for. Yeah. And like now you have to go download another app and stuff like that. Dude, make it accessible. Make it to where people are. That's the issue.
Yeah, I don't even know my I don't even know how I'm gonna. I guess I'm gonna have to set a new password. I don't even know my password. I just tried to register for the open. All right. Thank you. Hobart was great. Level 4 should be coming out any second. Everyone pay attention if you want to get in. There is going to be a bottleneck. It looks like the app tried to recreate that to some text. You get workouts, articles, extra articles on rest day, and you can log your score in comment section. I wonder if it sends you notifications. It has the open leaderboards, semi-leaderboards, games leaderboards. It's how it's input your scores, etc. That's cool. Yeah, I remember there was some app I had during the open where like every time you opened it, it told you where your ranking was.
Yeah, I think that's the games app.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. I'll see you later today, Sousa.
Yep.
All right.
Awesome.
Great show. Thanks again, Hobart. Sounds like CrossFit's moving in the right direction. Excited for the level 4. It's fun having someone from HQ on. Talk to you guys later.